I'm one of the clinical nurse specialists from St Peter and St James Hospice. I'm one of a member of 6 clinical nurse specialists, and we work out in the community predominantly. We're based at the hospice. We work in close liaison with all members of the hospice and our hospice doctors, but predominantly we are about bringing the hospice ethos and the hospice knowledge out into the community. We support patients with symptom management, with life-limiting illness, cancers, motor neuron disease, other neurological conditions, so symptom management and managing their condition within the last few weeks of life also. We're largely about supporting people and to facilitate someone to die at home if that's their wish. We do a lot of work around preferred place of care and preferred place of death when people are in those last few weeks of life. A lot of people want to stay at home for as long as possible, and then yes, they want to come into the hospice to die. But also a huge majority of our patients, over half of their caseload, do die at home, and we help facilitate that, again with their symptom management of their issues, with very close liaison with the GPs, because they're still under GP care when they're out in the community. So we can come back to our doctors at the hospice, their consultants, get advice from them, relay it back to the GPs, have group discussions about management of care, and then make sure the right medications is in place. Lots of liaisons with local care companies to make sure care is in place, with the district nursing teams, all community support. We facilitate sort of pulling all of that together to make dying at home as best as it can possibly be.
Carol and I were married for 49 years, and I knew her a bit longer than that. This is our home. We've lived here for 29 years. And Carol loved it. It's all our family memories here, and she wanted to live her last days here and die here if that was at all possible. She was very ill in hospital, and St Peter and St James Hospice got involved with us and with the hospital, and she was able to come home. We had all the facilities provided here, and her wish to die here with her family around here was what we achieved. And I was next to her when she died, and that I think was a great comfort to us all.
Anybody dying is a sad, sad time, but we can make it as nice and as pleasant as it can be for those around. It's a difficult thing to support someone to die at home, and I think if we can make it any easier by taking a lot of the ease of the decision making and getting medication, liaising with the GP, so maybe the family haven't got to do that, then that all helps take the pressure off. Obviously everybody in the community has the same access to the hospice services, the counselling team, the wellbeing centre, all of our other services are on offer to them, even if they don't come into the hospice. All facilities can come out to them. Some of their patients never actually come into the hospice. They don't even want to come and look round. They're happy to have us coming to them and deal with everything at home. And that's what we're all about, really. We all 6 of us, we cover very different areas in East and West Sussex. We all have our own GP surgeries that we cover. Current caseload between 6 of us, as I say, is about just over 200 patients that we're supporting, and all at varying stages of their illnesses. We can be introduced sort of relatively early, so we have a relationship going, and we often sort of feel like we are a bit of a member of the family in some way. So when we're having those difficult discussions later on in the illness, it's quite natural, and people feel safe to have those discussions with us about where they want to be and how they want to be cared for.
I've been very pleased with the support we've received from the hospice. Wasn't really sure what to expect, but I have to say that Ruth has become more of a friend really than somebody who just visits me to see how I am. And the same goes for the hospice itself. I get regular emails as to the classes that they're running, and if anything takes my fancy, then if I feel well enough, then obviously I can visit and take up those resources. And that's very nice to know. It's nice to know there's somebody at the end of the phone that you can talk to if you have a problem, however small. I think that's extremely worthwhile.
I think the hospice is well respected in this area, and that's very apparent when you talk to people about St Peter and St James Hospice. But I think not a lot of people realise maybe how much we bring of the hospice out into the community.